Somebody paid them. Do we have ever heard that somebody paid for these things? No. The reason behind the same is that in ancient times, the knowledge was disseminated free of cost. It was their intellectual property, but there was no trend of getting something in lieu of sharing that intellectual property. We all know the fact that there and then the students and the sons of the kings, the princes, they used to go and study in gurukuls. And even the sons of lower classes were also going to gurukuls. All they were paying was what in their hand. There was no fixed thing. But they had decided that this is 3,000 per month or 4,000 per month. No. But slowly, as we have come to a modern era from Renaissance, we see that the dissemination of technology, of knowledge, has started being a money consideration. And it is not only in India, it is everywhere. The wealth is a bee that if once it bites, you want that wealth again and again. Accumulation of wealth has been our goal. So many sources pin its origins to 1421 when first patent was given to an Italian inventor. Now you would be wondering, what is this patent when this term has originated now? Then what the patent is? Patent was in 6th century BC. A few section of Siberian community in Greece, they started culinary inventions. Culinary related to bread. And the invention of bread, when they did not disclose how they made bread. And when it gets to the people's knowledge, they said, you give us the bread, we give you the money. And for an year or so, only those group of 6 people, they were entitled to make bread, afterwards which they will share how they made it. But for an year, only they were allowed to make the bread. And they earned money. However, it got disclosed after a year, but they made money out of it, and then we know that bread is available in all areas and it has been available since then. Sometimes even if it is said that intellectual property rise is somehow related to the rise of bread also. The Industrial Revolution in 19th century, as I am embarking on the importance of a legal regime. You know how laws are made. There are some sections or some areas we see in the society this is happening, and you would see in the next coming 2 or 3 years a law would be made for the same. We know that there were so many laws that were not in the pre-independence area, but now we have bundle of laws with us because whatever area is emerging, we have a law. So similarly, in the case of intellectual property laws also, an impetus was felt in 19th century regarding the importance of these IPR laws. Because imagine you sit in India, you have invented something. The same thing must have been invented by somebody in USA. So who would be given an exclusive right to earn money from it? It is something which national legislation cannot do. It is an international level thing because intellect is never restrained to borders. Could it be restrained to borders? Few years back I remember we heard that there is an device called Alexa. Play the music, and Alexa is playing the music. When it did not reach India, we were quite amazed how this device looks like. And now I believe half of the people have this device at their homes. Now we even say the notifications are still there. We are saying, Alexa, Alexa, please switch on the lights, switch on the fan. There are ACs nowadays which even before you reach the home, they are on. So what are these? These are innovations, these are inventions, and these all are protected under the IPR regime. So the first thing which was done by WIPO, World Intellectual Property Organizations. You all must be knowing about UN, United Nations. It is a similar kind of body, World Intellectual Property Organizations. So it was dealt, IPR regime was initially dealt with it, but then they thought that it is such big a forte that we have to make a separate law for the same. And then came into existence a special agreement which was TRIPS, trade related aspects of Intellectual Property Rights. It was the first official document that discussed that what all would be counted in the intellectual property regime. So according to TRIPS, I would brief you that what all are intellectual property rights. Firstly, it is the copyrights. You must have heard about this terminology before. Copyrights? Any student if you wish to answer? Copyrights. Earlier the span of the copyright was also very much restricted, but now it has also got very much widened. Copyrights is the rights of artists, the painters, the architects, the sculptures making, the photographers, author of whatever you are writing, these all have the copyright of their work. And one brilliant thing about copyright is, if you just simply write C and you circle it, you are making the person who's looking at it show that it is your original work, and that person is not entitled to copy your work. Copyright is the most simple intellectual property that we have. The right of computer programmers, whether it is the source code, the object code, then the right of performance artists. Earlier, the fact was the movie makers, what they used to do, the producer used to take all the money, the directors used to take all the money, and even the big actors like Devalan, like their acting, they had no intellectual property right. When it was their labor also, everyone cannot do what Devalan could do. So it started that the rights of performers, the rights of the artists, they must also be granted some copyrights. Not as much as the owners do, but that is why it is called the neighboring rights under the copyrights. Next is the right of traders in their trademark. I have already discussed trademark is how you do business. For example, tell me any good brand that you know. Any good brand that you know or that comes into your mind right now. Any brand. For example, Armani Exchange. Now, can I make a copy of it at home? Maybe my husband has a garment factory, we produce it at our own place. Can I place that sticker just like Armani Exchange do? Can I do that? But you would ask me a question that such duplicate copies are always seen in the markets. Then why are they seen? Why, if law is made so stringent, why these copies are still seen? If I want to buy a bag of LV, I know I have to first check whether it's a first copy or not because it just looks like the same. It is a private right, dear students and faculty members. Only the LV can complain against it. If they do not have any problem, we also must not have. Because it is their economic right being infringed. Next is the rights of manufacturers and producers on the geographical indications in relation to such products. Now, what are geographical indications? We have geography students here? No. Yes. So, any particular thing you want to mention that is related to the geography? For example, please sit down. There is a Bikaneri Bhujia. You must have seen the term.